Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at multiple upcoming days of severe weather. A massive snowstorm for the northeastern and interior mid-Atlantic United States. And a lot of people near the coast will start to see flakes at the very tail end of it. It just won't be a massive snowstorm. But we are expecting tons of impacts from this, followed by Arctic air, deep Arctic air behind it. And then we're going to just have to see what happens after that, because that's going to just shake us all up, and then we're going to have to look forward towards our next few events. Anyways, before I get into things, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, when do you think our next major storm will be in the United States? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now, you guys might have heard me talking about how I'm going to be out of town and stuff. Well, that actually didn't end up happening. We ended up canceling that trip, actually. So yesterday, I just left the pre-made video up because I really needed a break. So I ended up using that one. But today, I had a pre-made video, but I decided that I just wanted to hop on here and actually give you guys a forecast for this storm that we're actually taking a look at. So that's what I decided to go ahead and do instead of keeping that second pre-made video up. I really don't like using pre-made videos. I usually like talking about the things that are happening now, so I only was able to really do that for one day, and then I didn't want to leave the second one up. I hope that's understandable. So I know it's very confusing, but I'm back for now. So let's get straight into things. We're going to start out with the Northwest here. The precipitation typing does turn off here. I did just allow my computer to update to Windows 11 just to see how I like it. So far I don't, so I don't know if there's going to be any issues. But we will get there when we get there. But for now, the precipitation typing does turn off. I don't know if that has to do with that, because it hasn't happened in a while, but now it's happening all of a sudden once I do this update. We do have rainfall and snowfall showers happening throughout Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon. These are quite minor, though, very light, and likely not really impacting too much. And really, as we've approached closer towards the morning, and I know things are earlier out there, it really has lightened up. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a, nuisance, really. Now, I know it's hard to tell, but there's a lot of snowfall going on here for Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, with basically just these areas seeing rainfall down here. Everywhere else is basically seeing snowfall. As hard as it is to tell once the precipitation typing turns off, which really annoys me. So we're seeing snow deep into the south. And then as we move further north, we can see that we're seeing snowfall for all of these areas here. So Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and even up through Ohio as well. All of this is really going to, transfer and really bring snowfall to the northeast. So that's what we're going to eventually be seeing happening with this. Let's move down and take a look at that second piece of energy, because we do have some energy down here as well. Lots and lots of thunderstorms taking place. I guess we should take a look at these in little segments. First off, we have these isolated showers taking place down here for Texas, which haven't had any lightning yet, but these are quite heavy at times. There's a lot of humidity down here, clearly. We're seeing those very tiny isolated storms take place. Now, it's the same story down here for Louisiana, except these are become more organized over time for Louisiana and Missouri, or Mississippi, not Missouri. We're seeing a lot of lightning with these, actually, so these have developed further than those Texas storms, especially this one near Baton Rouge and areas like that. That's where we've been seeing a lot of those thunderstorms. So this one right here. Yep, right about there. That's been a pretty major thunderstorm, and then also down south of New Orleans, down there as well. Now, near the panhandle of Florida, we've had these actually quite strong thunderstorms move on shore. And these ones to the south here, especially as they're reaching the coast around here, should be quite intense as well. I'm going to underline them here, but these ones that are currently offshore, I'm sure will also be quite strong. But these ones that hit the panhandle already were quite strong. There's going to be a lot of precipitation moving on to these regions, and eventually what we're going to see happen, and we'll take a look at the severe weather threat towards the end of the video, but a lot of this energy is just going to head straight up northward like this, where there's a tornado and especially a damaging wind threat all the way up into these regions here. And then tomorrow it's going to be even worse when it's for about these regions. We have an enhanced risk for both now, by the way, so we'll have to take a look at those in just a moment. So it looks like that's all that's going on at this point. This is all going to come together. Just taking a really zoomed out look. So these are our two areas. And really what's going to happen is it's kind of just going to all push together. It's hard to explain, but it's going to really reform off here, and then it's going to head up the coast. And that's when we're going to see this become a major snowstorm for a lot of these regions. So we're going to wait and see in the model guidance where we're going to really see that happen in just a moment. All right, now here's our European model. We're just going to be breaking this down. Here is this storm. We can see the two pieces of energy we were just talking about. We have one kind of there and then one up here. And they are all going to come together in some shape or form here, mostly off the southeast coast. But there's still going to be this elongated area of snowfall, and it's actually going to be intensifying over time. Even states like Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, seeing snowfall this time of year, and then all the way up through Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and then even up into New England a little bit later on. By the time we're reaching very early on Saturday morning, we have a 991 right here. We have a 1006 millibar low pressure center there, and the energy is generally looking like this, with this Arctic blast just really, really heading in right here. So tons and tons of cold air, and that's what's allowing for this snowfall to really take place for these inland states. And now as we move even further, you see this again, like I said, does eventually reach the coast for most folks. Here, this is going to be by about 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 12th, or tomorrow. It's going to be hard to believe because we're going to be dealing with thunderstorms tomorrow morning for this entire region, and then snow is going to blast through right behind it. So it's going to be really odd, but that's what's going to be happening. See, it reaches the coast up here as well, so that is what happens with that storm. Now, we are going to break down the total snowfall here. So just reminding you guys, I forgot to do that a couple videos ago. This isn't the total snowfall. Let's go to this model run. The European model has come in a lot more dry on this model run, significantly cutting back those amounts, but we will take a look at what the models have been generally showing lately. So obviously very large amounts for these regions, in here in particular, but if you're anywhere in the grays, you're looking at a dusting. If anything, blues will be 2 to 6 inches of snowfall, purples will be 6 to 10, pinks will be 10 to 20, pastels, we don't have any pastels, but that would have been 20 inches plus, but pinks is going to be 10 to 20. That's generally what we're looking at in this bullseye here and then here. So let's take a look at a couple model runs ago. Oh, it's been drier for a while here on the European model. I think I heard in particular that the European model was very, very dry. Yeah, because when we look at the GFS model, clearly there's much higher amounts in here. Again, dusting, if anything, in the gray. 2 to 6 inches of snowfall in the blue. Purples will be 6 to 10. Pinks will be 10 to 20. And then we even get these pastel blues here for New Hampshire and portions of Canada as well up there. That is where we're at, about 2 feet or more. This model says a maximum of 26 inches of snowfall. So much, much more snowfall here on that GFS model. But the European model has been coming in more dry, so we need to watch that closely. Let's continue on with this. So I just wanted to break that down for you guys. Let's see. So it gets kind of quieter. This is what we kind of predicted. We have some more minor storms up here in the northwest for early next week. It's going to be relatively dry. And even as we approach midweek next week, this is heading into Wednesday, March 16th, we do have a more minor storm here for the southeast, but I do expect severe weather here and then here on days 4 and 5. So we're going to be taking a look at that in a moment as well. We do have some storminess still lingering for the northwest. And really this becomes a bit of a nor'easter, but nothing major. This might be our next major threat. This would be by time we're reaching 17th, 18th time frame, next Thursday and Friday, so about a week from now. Yeah, so this one looks a little bit more major, but look at how warm these spring-like temperatures are. We're getting less and less snowfall even up here during these storms as we're approaching April, which is very normal this time of year. Seeing a lot of rainfall make its way up to areas where, you know, just a few weeks ago it would have been unimaginable. And this could bring some thunderstorms as well and some very, very warm conditions up the East Coast. So this is by Saturday 19th, and that does become quite a storm. And then out west here, it looks like by the 20th, we would have another major storm moving onshore to the west, which is usually how our more major storms begin out west, and then they work their way through the United States. So that's the upcoming pattern. Let's break down the Storm Prediction Center's forecast for the next multiple days. Anyway, here is day 1 categorical outlook. Like I said, there is a enhanced risk. So if you're anywhere in the lightest green there, that's a general thunderstorm risk. We don't expect severe weather there at all, but it is possible. Darker greens are going to be our marginal risk. So this is where we don't necessarily expect severe weather, but it is a little bit possible there. It's not usually widespread at all through these darker green regions, but it is just very, very isolated at times. We actually have 2 areas of slight risk. I'm going to underline this one here for coastal regions of North Carolina there. So that is definitely something to be watching. We'll go over the individual risks in just a moment. I'm going to underline this big slight risk region here for the southeast, as you can see there in the yellows. That is where we expect scattered severe weather events to take place, severe weather reports such as hail, wind, tornadoes. We expect those to be kind of scattered within in the heavier thunderstorms that take place in there, but it's not going to be widespread throughout the entire region, most likely. But then we have our enhanced risk for the panhandle of Florida here up through a little bit of Georgia. I'm going to circle that region right there. And that is where we expect a little bit more widespread severe weather to be possible. Just a little bit of a higher risk of severe weather, and generally this entire region should see strong thunderstorms. So that is what we're looking at on the categorical outlook for today. Again, that's Friday, March 11th, today for the time I'm making this video. Let's take a look at those individual risks. First off, the damaging wind risk here. We have a 5% chance within 25 miles of a given location there within the green, 15% chance there within the yellow, and a 30% chance there within the red. So that's why we got that enhanced risk for damaging wind. Now here's the hail outlook. Hail isn't a huge threat today. We only have a 5% chance there for those regions. So not looking too crazy for hail. Tornadoes, though, we do have a bit of an elevated risk today. We have a 2% chance within 25 miles of a given location there within the green. We have a 5% chance there within the browns, both the brown regions, North Carolina, and then down there for further into the south, in the southeast. And then we have a 10% chance within 25 miles of a given location here within our enhanced risk region for the panhandle of Florida and Georgia. So we will be watching for some potential tornadoes, unfortunately. Here's day 2, when things are looking similar. We have a general thunderstorm risk here again in the lighter green. Again, we don't expect severe weather in that region, but thunderstorms will be possible. Marginal risk here is where we expect, again, isolated severe weather reports potentially in there, but nothing widespread at all is expected. Our slight risk is our yellow region there, and that is where we expect scattered severe weather reports within there. Some stronger thunderstorms are going to be sporadically located within that yellow region. And then the enhanced risk region here in this orange area is going to be where we expect a little bit more widespread severe weather reports to take place. So we're going to have to be watching for that as well, unfortunately. Now, for day 3, that's, again, Saturday, March 12th right there that we just took a look at. For Sunday, March 13th, there is no severe weather risk according to the Storm Prediction Center at this point. But let's take a look at the individual outlooks here. I forgot to do this. The wind outlook here, we have a 5% chance within 25 miles of a given location there within the green of damaging wind. A 15% chance there within the yellow, and then a 30% chance there within the red. Hail, again, very, very light risk here. We have a 5% chance there for South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, but still very minimal. And then tornadoes, thankfully, as of right now, aren't as elevated. We don't have that 10% chance. We only have a 5% chance, which is still rather high. So we're going to want to heed all of those warnings, obviously. But 5 is clearly half of 10. So as of right now, day 1 has twice as much risk as day 2. But we might get that 10% upgrade later on. So we need to be watching for that as well. We have a 2% chance within the greens, again, of tornadoes taking place within 25 miles of a given location, and then a 5% chance there within the brown, which is from Florida all the way up through North Carolina. So that is the risk for day 2. Now we're skipping straight to day 4 because we have a 15% chance of severe weather here for Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas there right in the corner. And that is going to basically equate to a slight risk of severe weather on day 4. That's going to be Monday, March 14th, and then day 5 as well for March 15th. That's going to be Tuesday. We have another southeast severe weather risk here. This will again equate to a slight risk region being located where that yellow region is. So we're going to be watching all of these things. A lot of severe weather. Thankfully, no major events. It doesn't look like. More moderate. Enhanced I usually consider to be more of a medium risk. So thankfully, these seem to be more medium risk type days. We haven't had any moderate or high risk days in quite a while. So that's good so far moving into the spring. So for now, we're going to be watching all these severe weather days, and hopefully we slide by with minimal impacts. But be heeding all those warnings and watches for sure. I'm sure a lot of those are going to come out over the coming 5 days. So be watching for those. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we are at a 4 out of 6, basically what we've been at for quite a while. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Little the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Nora Holly, Mikulotsa, Catbite, Charles Tennant, Bill Dallas, Garys, and John Khaleesi also. I'd also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.